Peace, peace. Hello, everybody. Where are we today? In my backyard. Not really, but it's so close to my yard that it might as well be my backyard, you know. It's like less than a 10-minute walk away, so I try to be here as often as I can when it's warm, but it shouldn't stop me when it's cold too, you know. It's not even that cold today, to be honest. It's actually a bit on the warmer side. It's still morning, 10 or 11, so it'll only get warmer. But yeah, man, I'm trying to do these a bit more. Not even these as like whole videos. I'm just trying to get used to recording myself and being seen recorded. You know, I have such a negative stigma in my mind around social media and bloggers and TikTok and all that kind of shit. But what I'm trying to do is eradicate that. I'm trying to get that out of my system because it's not serving me in any way. It's just fueling my ego even more, you know, and I don't. I had a nice remembrance a couple days ago around this feeling that I've been feeling lately. And it's like I'm standing at a precipice, right? At the edge of a cliff. Behind me is a path. It's a windy path, it's long. There's like, a couple obstacles along the path and whatnot. But for the most part, I can see it. You know, I'd be able to control a bit more about what happens on the path. The path is also familiar. Like I've seen a path before, I know what happens. I can see it winding and twisting and going up and down and hills and all that kind of stuff. I see it going all over the place. Long ass path, and it's gonna take a while to like reach the destination with this path, but I can see it, it's familiar, I know it, it's predictable. But that's behind me. In front of me, though, is the precipice. So that's the cliff. That's the abyss. And in the abyss is the unknown. I don't know what's in there. I don't have much or any control over what happens. I can't see. I don't know what to expect. It's unfamiliar. It's unknown. And so I've been feeling like that for a while, and really like that metaphor is to explain like the calling I have right now to leave not just the city, Toronto, but the continent of North America, to continue my learnings, continue traveling, continue to learn these modalities that I've been learning: yoga, meditation, sound therapy, spirituality in general. Is to leave and just continue pursuing that. Like, get the fuck out of here and just keep doing that, keep learning. Because I have this thirst for knowledge right now, and it seems to be like the only thing that I want to do, the only thing that is fulfilling. But I still exist and operate here in this third density, not only the third density, but this city, this capitalistic consumer city that is driven by hustle culture, that I see, and I don't necessarily think it's a terrible thing. I mean, actually, I lie. I think it is a terrible thing. I think the yoke it has everybody under is a terrible thing. It itself is not a terrible thing, but yeah, anyway, that's a different topic. So I'm feeling this way about like leaving and staying. Staying is, so the paths, leaving would be the abyss. That would be the precipice. That's what I'm looking at, and that's what's calling me. That's why I'm facing it versus facing the path. The path, though, that's me staying. That's me staying and doing all the things that I've, I guess, utilized my career with or for. You know, 20 years in the music industry. Now I've transitioned to wellness, mindfulness, teaching that to the music industry, guiding folks there, or just guiding people in general, but here, you know, guiding fellow Black folks. And like, I also, when I say the path looks familiar and I see the obstacles and stuff, it's like when I think about that path, it's like I get it. I see that what what it will entail. I see that I can go get grants. I see that there is potential monetary, like financial stability in it in terms of grants, but I also see the other sides of it of like how little money there is in the music industry, especially in Canada. My old employer, Warner, just laid off 25 people. So like it's not looking good. And there's layoffs happening all the time in all these different parts of in music sector. So like there's that as well. But I also can see like how much it will help, how the people that will be involved like are my people that I'm coming up with or learning from, or they've learned from me. I've gone to their classes and whatnot. Like the community is there. I think I could be able to reach some of like the artists, the executives, the producers, like the bigger named ones, the higher, more established ones, I should say. Like I think I'd be able to reach them with the contacts that I have and just my time I've put into the game. The game. See, even calling it that, it's fucked. Just in the industry. And like it's that feeling of me almost like needing to capitalize on that or utilize all that that has me feeling resistance. It's the obligation that I don't think I like. Um, and I think that's kind of what's holding me back from doing more, from staying. It's that like training. It's the training that is the training for hustle culture, for capitalism, consumerism. That's the familiar programming that is ringing off right now. And it's the obligation to utilize the things that I've built that is causing dis-ease within me. It's causing resistance. Because there's two things also. It's like I know I can leave and that shit isn't going anywhere. I can always come back. It's always going to be here. But then this is where the ego chimes in, and it's like, yeah, but strike while the iron's hot. Do it now because you have the contacts, because you've made the recent transition. So there are eyes on me. There's people watching what I'm doing, seeing what I'm doing, and being inspired from it, whatnot, putting me on to other people and whatnot. So like, there's flow, there's momentum now, and it's like, utilize that, tap into that, But the more I think about that, I still feel resistance. That doesn't speak ease to me, that doesn't excite me. That gives me resistance, and that resistance is the obligation to it, because I now see it as just training for hustle culture, you know? It's training for the capitalistic society that we live in to constantly produce, to constantly utilize the things that, can generate revenue, can bring us money. Like all the things that I do and want to do, they're all helpful. They're all going to help people regardless. So for me, that's one of the most important things. But I also understand, again, where I live. Oh, I can't see the buildings, but being here, I have to earn a living. It's expensive as fuck to live here. I live alone, so I don't have people to help me with the bills, with the rent and all that kind of shit. So it's mad expensive. So I'm going to need to balance the capitalistic part with the mindfulness part. That's been a struggle in itself. And as I dive more into the wellness mindfulness side of things as a career path, as a full-time career path, I also start to see how limiting it is here, because there isn't major interest in it. There's interest in the sense where employers know they need to incorporate it somehow, shape or form, just for their own liability, to say like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. We need to have a couple wellness initiatives locked into the schedule. But there isn't major budgets for these things, My time at the corporate job, we did 3 in a year. The year that I was there for like 13 months, thereabouts, 14 months, something like that. We did 2. One was puppy yoga, one was coloring, and one was meditation. And like, that's cool. Again, I'm glad that they're at least thinking this direction and doing these things. But ultimately, like, that isn't going to impact the people that we're working with, you know? And so because like that was a real world experience that I got to see of like how wellness, mindfulness initiatives look in the corporate structure. So it showed me that there's gaps and there's a lot of room to fill, but there isn't budgets. You know, the gigs, the stuff that I've been getting are like $100, $200, $250, $300, maybe up to $500 if I tack on like after tax, after transportation, all that kind of shit. I might get 500, but it's like I still have to put all that aside, you know, put taxes aside, recoup the transpo. So yeah, I'm still only making like $300. It's not enough for me to do this full time. Not in this city, not here, you know, not alone. But like, this is something that is so needed, and everybody agrees that it's so needed. But even then, even in the agreement that it's so needed, there still isn't the backing or support for it from corporate entities. But even taking it away from corporate entities and down to the single individual person, I'm noticing resistance there too. Because like, there's wellness events. Like when I did 3 events, 2 were free, one was charge. And it was a struggle to get people to come to the paid event. Majority of half, yeah, it was about 15, 14 people or something like that. Half of them were people I knew because I gave them a free code. The other half were strangers that I didn't know who were willing to pay the full price. I did 2 pay what you can spots that were taken up as well. So like, excuse me. So like, I know there's appetite. And I know that there will be struggle. I know it won't be just the ease in which things have been coming to me has been super dope, which shows me the alignment, which I agree with and I love. But when I factor in the other aspects of it, like I have an extensive background in event planning. I can do that easily in my sleep. That's, you know, one of the simpler tasks for me. But it's the other parts that come with it that's difficult, that's a struggle. The marketing part. But again, it is simple. I want to say easy, it is simple, but it's just like added onto that is that there's a cost, you know, if I do these events. So like of the things that I want to do of me staying, it's like, yes, I want to do programming, like wellness, mindfulness, corporate mindfulness programming, events on my own for other people, plus digital online stuff as well. The events cost me a lot, not even a lot, cost me a bit to do them first and foremost, and then to like make a profit off of it. That coupled with everything else of like just living, maintaining. So yeah, it's like, no. Well, those are the things that have been like bouncing around in terms of what I've been feeling. And like, how did I even get here? Is because I wanted to just explain why I'm trying to do these video things more. I just want to, I don't know, it's nice to talk it through, just to hear it. And I have people in my life that I do this with too, but not always available. I just felt like being impromptu, taking this stuff with me, utilizing it. But yeah, I don't know, like there's no real conclusion. Or no, I guess the conclusion is that like so much, okay, just going back to where I left off around like doing the events and stuff. Like all of that is still exciting to me. It's still great, it's still exciting. There's initiative, the Bomb Initiative, to teach wellness or mindfulness to the music industry. Like that's an awesome thing that I love, and I think there's a lot of potential there. I was thinking about turning that into like a nonprofit organization. I can see that going globally, like around the world for different things, conferences and all that kind of stuff, because it's music, right? Or it's teaching to the music industry, so it can fit with all these places. But then even that, it's like, oh, do I become beholden to grants? Is that something I really want to do? I don't know if I want to venture down here. It's going to be mad slippery. You know what? I don't think I will. Not today, only because I have a shift later. But, yeah, man. So that's the path, right? The path is for me seemingly the simpler one. The simpler thing to do would be to stay and to just walk that path and just do those things that I already am doing, have been doing, that are simple for me to do. It's just doing more of it, you know? And the thing is that doesn't excite, okay, it does excite me, but there's other things that excite me more. That just seems like more of the same. I don't really know if I want more of the same right now. Like I said, I'm thirsty for knowledge and learning. The other part of this whole thing is that it also, the way I envision it, in my mind's eye, is that like, it's like another mountain I'm about to climb. It's like 20 years in music, I climbed that mountain and reached the top of it. And now I'm about to consign myself to another long climb. I don't know how long it's going to be. Not to say it's going to be another 20 years, but maybe it's 10, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 2. Whatever it is, it's going to be a climb, you know, most likely a difficult one, relatively speaking. So it's like, do I want to jump into that right now? The part of me that wants to do that is the familiar side of hustle culture, grind culture, capitalism, consumerism. That side is like, yeah, jump back in, get to it, you know, get working on it. Because that's what we're so trained to do. That's what we're so programmed to do. It's like, if we're not busy doing something, if we're not busy producing something, creating something, then actually, no, not even create. I want to take that one away. But if we're not busy producing, if we're not being productive with our time, with our day, then it's not exclusively said, but it's meant to feel like we're not doing much. And so me in this limbo state that I've been in for like the past year, not even limbo, because I've been learning, I've been doing other things, but me being in this state, it's like that programming is knocking and being like, oh, what are we doing? Here's so much potential here, like right here in your hands. There's so much potential, stuff that you've been doing for so long. It translates, it makes sense, it fits. So do it. But on the other side of me is like, that's not for you right now. You know, that's not what is exciting you right now. It's awesome that it's there. It's awesome that you have it. It's awesome that it's all built. But it's just not where you're at right now. And a part of me feels guilty for not being more excited for it. And I was looking at, why do I feel guilty? And like, what I had come down to is that it was ego. It was the ego that was forcing me to feel guilt. The ego being the programming of capitalism, consumerism, and hustle culture. That was the thing that was pulling me to be like, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't squander everything you've built. So many people would love to be in your position or have the things that you have, in terms of like contacts and connections and experience and whatnot. So it's like, you're just gonna dash all that away? It's gonna throw all that away? Meanwhile, there's other people that could utilize that, you know? So like, there's that part. But the thing that is the most exciting for me is to leave. Like, I keep thinking about that. I keep going back to that, and I just feel so much comfort in thinking it. Like, I feel like I'm being spooned when I think about leaving. I don't even know where, I don't know when, I don't know how, but just the thought of leaving and traveling, continuing my studies somewhere else, that excites me, and that makes me feel good. And for a while, I wasn't sure if that was avoidance. Am I just avoiding these feelings of staying because I know it will be hard It will be another climb. It will be all that kind of shit. But um, am I just avoiding? Is leaving running away from this shit that I want to avoid? But I'm thinking on it more. I've realized that it's not. I think avoiding the hard thing would be to stay. Or, yeah, avoiding the hard thing would be to stay, because leaving wouldn't necessarily be easier. It will be extremely hard because I'll have to give up so much. And that's another factor of the ego that it came down to, of why I was feeling this feeling of being on the precipice and the path behind me, is because I realized, or I remembered and realized that I'd have to give up so much more, and that's ego. A lot of it is the creature comforts that we have, you know. But then I also thought about that more, and it was beyond creature comforts. It's also like the soul comfort, you know, the soul comfort and creature comfort. I think the soul comfort, they described it as like love, art, purpose. Creature comforts are like stuff for our body, our physical. So like, you know, our mood lighting, or not mood lighting, but yeah, our ambient, like our home, like how things look, furniture, clothes, like all that kind of stuff. But I also realized there's digital comforts as well. And my example of the digital comfort was when I had thought about, when I was going through this deep dive, this deep shadow work, and I thought about, okay, if ego is what's holding us here, the perception of like all the stuff that I've built and all that kind of stuff, a way to help mitigate that or control that or master that is to delete the perception, delete the thing that people see. And that was my IG, which is like my resume, you know, for all the stuff that I'm doing or have been or have done. And just like when I thought about that, there was a lot of anxiety. So I'm like, okay, this is the place to search, to point at, to look at. So I started diving into that more, and and it showed that that was the digital comfort. Because how that was the digital comfort was because the thought of that like I have um, a curated manicured feed that shows a lot of wellness stuff, not just stuff that I'm doing, but stuff that people I've done for other people and they tag me in. So it's like I'm flexible, I'm versatile, wide range of different stuff. So it's the perception of how I look, so that when people come to hire me, they have something there that be like, oh look, yeah, this guy's legit, you know. So it's that, and it's that whole concept that leads to me getting hired for things. And me getting hired for things means revenue, income, that kind of stuff. It also means me serving. It also means me doing the thing that I love to do. So that's a factor as well that I'm not discounting. But I can do that anywhere at any time, you know? I can do what I love to do. I do what I love to do every day. I do live streams every day on Insight Timer. Um, you know, I do meditations and stuff. So like that isn't, that's an important factor, but it isn't the factor. The factor that is the denominator, the common denominator of why I'm feeling resistance is what the digital comfort leads to, which is the monetary side of it. And so that was very profound. It was great to realize that, to come to that understanding. Um, so that was an exercise that I think I want to do more of, exploring the anxiety. And that's something that I've talked about before, where I'll sometimes smoke um, and purposely invite the anxiety in so that I can probe and understand, like, okay, what am I feeling anxious about? where is this coming from? Why am I feeling anxious about this? What's this rooted in? But I wanted to say another thing on ego, but it slipped out. Well, okay. Well, anyway, I mean, that's the gist of it, of what I've been feeling recently in terms of this precipice and this path. And I think I was thinking about this recently, and it was like the creature comfort, or the comforts, period, the soul comfort, the creature comfort, the digital comfort. These are all three systems that work independently, but together they shouldn't be feeding each other. And I think what was happening was there was an imbalance because my digital comfort was feeding my creature comfort, and my creature comfort was feeding my digital comfort. So the stuff that I show digitally would lead to gigs that would bring income, which would allow me to expand my creature comforts. Those creature comforts would expand my the digital comforts, because I might get things like this, like contraptions like this, so that I can create more, so I can put more onto the digital space. And so there was like a feedback loop of like them two just feeding each other. The soul comfort that I had thought about was the thing that points me, like the thing that brings me the most joy, which is teaching, serving, sound therapy, meditation, yoga, and these other modalities that I'll be adding. So it's like the soul's comfort is always on, but the other two were out of alignment or unbalanced. I need to process this more, I think, because there's more there. But just going back to the precipice and the path, right, that's what I was saying. The harder thing would be for me to leave, because I'd have to give up all of the comforts, creature comforts, the digital comforts. The soul comfort was still locked in. That's the guiding path. That's the North Star, the guiding light. So I don't have to worry about changing or redefining the soul's comfort. But it was about, the conclusion I had was redefining the creature comforts and the digital comforts so that they aren't feeding each other. Because like I said, the harder thing for me to do would be to leave. So like the apartment that I have and I've built up and it's so comfortable and has all the things that I want to like maintain this simple lifestyle that I have and live. It's the feeling of wanting like to be known, that I could walk down different places, different areas, and people know me, and that like I can help people and whatnot, or whatever it is, or even the word of mouth for like my services. Like people will hit me up and be like, "Oh yeah, I got your contact from this person. They said you were great at this." Like that. Well, feels great, but the reliance on it is what is causing resistance. Is what's causing me to feel not great. It's what's holding me here, is what I had realized. It literally is what is like the thing that's keeping me from leaving or continuing. Well, one of the things. I think the other thing is I've been feeling a bit in limbo, because it's like along with the precipice and the path, part of that was feeling like I'm waiting for something to finish or to end, or to like either shoot a drop or something like that. But that's where I came to the precipice and the path. It's not I'm waiting for something to happen. It's that I'm waiting to choose. I'm waiting to like decide what is it that I'm going to do. And I think the other day I had said something that sent shockwaves through me, like goosebumps. So if what Bashar says is that's us just coming into a new frequency, or a new dimension. I don't know if I want to go up those stairs, I'll go up the long path. And it was that I put a deadline on my move. I said at some time in 2026. 2026 is the last year that I'll be in North America. And that, like, oof, shook it. And I think setting that helped. Setting that deadline for myself helped. Because it made it real, you know? It wasn't just the thing I was thinking of. It gives me time to fully finish whatever it is I need to do here. And I think that thing that I need to do here, like the thing I need to finish, isn't a physical thing. Isn't like an event I need to do or something I need to establish. Before I was thinking I need to establish my nonprofit before I leave. Like, no, it's not that anymore. I think what it is that I need to redefine, deconstruct, and rebuild my ego fully. I thought I had done that before, but this was a great lesson that I haven't. There's still pieces that are kind of hidden, locked away. Like, if I talk in computer terms, it's like if you have like a folder and a folder and a folder and a folder, and you open that folder and there's like so many files in there, but it's so buried that it's like, okay, I'm not checking this because it's so deep. So I think I just need to continue to go deep, continue to find the things that are triggers for my ego and uninstall them so that I can get back to my excitement and my joy and finding what that is. Not even finding it, letting it come to me, letting it surface and pursuing it. Yeah, damn. I did not plan for this at all. I just wanted to talk. I wasn't planning to, like, I just wanted to get used to this. But now I feel like this is something worth sharing. You know, this was just meant to be for me. It's like practice and exercise. But yeah, this was cool. Little video journal. Oh, I should do, it's at the start, but captain's log. Star date. What's the date? 12/18/2025. Some Star Trek shit. But yeah, man, that was cool. Thank you for allowing me to talk. Thank you for applying today's bomb.